This is a very exciting episode of the Amazing Armchair Race because I actually brought a partner with me this time. My girlfriend Katie, come on in! Yay! How's it going?
Good. I know all my fans.
Yes, you do have fans. So, are you ready to do the task this week?
Mm-hmm.
You want to hear what it is?
Yeah.
So, we're in Greece, right? Imagine this. A warm summer evening in ancient Greece.
Gorgeous, yeah.
Gorgeous. And we're in this little theater, and there's 1,000 rocks. And you have to turn over all of them and find one of 4 coins. Are you ready for this?
No.
No?
No, you should call Kevin. I won't be doing that.
Well, it's a good thing that I said I have other partners.
Yeah, okay. You want to talk about that, having other partners?
Hey,
you want to bring that up again?
okay.
Or you can't...
Welcome back to the Amazing Armchair Race. My name is Jake, and I'm your host. And this is the show where I take a look at the most recent episode of the Amazing Race, and I say where I think I would end up if I was racing this episode. Of course, thank you for Katie for being in the intro there. That wasn't a real fight. We make it up. We script. We're like this, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry if I seem a bit jittery this episode. I never had an audience.
Yay!
Studio audience. Well, this episode I leave earlier than normal because in the last episode I said I got second place. Not armchairing that at all. So I get to leave earlier. So the first task is once they get into their cars, they have to self-drive themselves over to this theater area. And a lot of people were actually getting lost. They couldn't read the Greek signs. And I do think that this would be a problem for me and my partner. But I think it was a problem for everyone, and everyone eventually found the task they had to do, and it was a big equalizer anyways. So no matter what place, whether it's first, second, third, or fourth, arriving to the task, it does not matter. So what is this task? Well, I kind of explained it in the intro. What they had to do is they had to go to this Greek theater where there are these brilliant actors there that all they did was say some ominous phrases and did some interpretive dances while the competitors did their tasks. Leave no stone unturned.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Since this was a roadblock, only one person had to do this task, and what they had to do when they got into the stone theater is amongst the thousands of stones that were laid there, 4 of them had a coin. You had to find one of the coin. It is a needle in a haystack task. This task here is really hard for me to armchair because I really don't know how I would do. You either get really lucky and you find it right away, or you're there for over 3 hours like Ryan and Dusty. The 4 coins seem to be all in the same area, and I was a little confused watching the episode why they weren't just keeping the stones unturned or throwing them off to the side. Apparently, production didn't allow them to do that. They had to look and put it back down, and that made it absolute hell. And even though that you could get the luck of the draw and find the coin right away, Raquel and Kayla, who found the first coin, didn't even do it till a few hours in, it seemed. So this task is long, it's hell, and because I didn't do the roadblock in last week's episode, I would probably volunteer to do this task. Now I think actually this would be very therapeutic for me. I like looking for stuff. I'm a Hufflepuff. I'm a particularly good finder.
Fine.
But, you know, after hours of doing this, it would get on your nerves, and it's particularly Dusty there wanted to throw a rage fit, which he held back, but I think it's a fun task for the first 20 minutes, and then it just gets monotonous. But I would keep at it. I want to find the coin. I would never give up. This isn't the Amazing Race Canada where you just take the penalty. I would just keep going and try to find the coin. And you know, the way the producers set up this season, I don't know if the contestants knew this, but it was obviously going to be a non-elimination round. There usually isn't a Final Four, and the way that this is set up with the 11 legs, I mean, it didn't matter how long you took, and I think that the contestants probably knew that, and I would know that, so I would just take my sweet time going through, looking under every single rock I could, until you find the coin, and that's really all I have to do. So I don't know if I'm first, second, third, or fourth here. I'm just doing it. What I really liked in this episode, though, is when Ryan and Dusty were the only team left, Ryan grabbed Dusty and said, let's take a breather, and they went on top of the stairs of the theater, and they just looked out into Greece to calm down for a few minutes. It was a really beautiful scene in the race and a great de-stressor. The only thing that could have made it better, in my opinion, is if you put the rites of passage theme from Survivor there.
Just enjoy this.
I think what really helped and stopped me from blowing the gasket was he asked me to come up to the top of the theater with him, and he's like, man, let's just take a look and realize where we're at. It's something that I've worked on a lot over the last few years, is my anger. I've had a temper as a younger man, and it almost brought out a real bad side of me, and I just kept thinking, I don't want my son to see me act like this. So I swallowed my...
With a tear in my eye, I miss it. I miss the rites of passage. So after they find the coin, they have to go find Socrates and get some life wisdom from Socrates. Or as I like to call him, Socrates! Socrates, how's it going, man? Yes, we see our old dude friend Socrates. Unfortunately, Billy the Kid wasn't there, but he gave him sound advice, dude. You know, navigation is tough, and they really showed Arun and Natalia struggling, but I think the only reason they showed Arun and Natalia struggling is they wanted to make it look close, even though Ryan and Dusty were like an hour and a half behind. I think every team would have struggled with directions, so I don't really put that into account, and as I said, it's a non-elimination round, obviously. But they come to a detour, and the detour is either carry 300 plates without breaking any down a hill, or smashing plates Greek style until you find the little clue. And I found it very funny that every single team did the breaking plates task. For one thing, who wouldn't? And for another thing, obviously after you just spend 3 hours looking for a freaking little coin underneath a stone, you just want to Hulk smash! Getting a phone call? Who the hell?
Who
From
in the hell?
Montreal,
Who's in
Quebec.
the freezer?
Not answering this. I'm sorry, Montreal.
Dog data?
So, yes, of course, I would choose the smashing of the plates task. So when they were smashing the plates, they can only do it when the music was playing. It was kind of like a demented musical chairs, which was kind of funny. I found it also very funny that Ryan and Dusty just weren't looking when they were smashing the plates. Like, they could have obviously missed it. But, you know, as I said, they were in last and they didn't really care anyways. So once you find it, you have to go find the pit stop, and you go up to the pit stop, and Phil goes, Jacob and Katie. Jacob and whoever the hell my partner is.
It's not me.
It's not you, no. She's not going anywhere near the rock task.
I shouldn't be. You think I'm safe around rocks?
You are team number 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know where the hell I am. I like to think through my intuition and potential psychic abilities that I can unlock using my third eye. I'd be able to find that coin really easily. So, you know what? I don't know what place I'd come in. But let's have a little fun. I haven't given myself a win yet. I think the little guy needs a win. I think I'm team number 1 going into the next task. I'm team number 1.
Whoa! Amazing! Oh, we're gonna go! Yes! Team number 1! Pop off, sis! Pop off!
So yes, I'm going to say I'm team number 1, but it doesn't really matter because it was a non-elimination round. But we're going to the next task. It's really nice to have that head start. And that's all I have for this episode of the Amazing Armchair Race. Of course, check out Logan's blog. I'm actually climbing the ranks. He put himself in first place, which is very funny, and I love that. Give yourself all those points, King. You deserve it. And then the James and Will podcast is above me, and then it's me. So let's see if I can maintain that place and maybe go for the crown next week, as next week is the finale to the Amazing Race and the Amazing Armchair Race as well. Maybe I'll get dressed up.
You won't.
Yeah, well.
Okay.
So thanks for watching this episode. It's a bit shorter, but it was a lot of fun. And thank you for Katie for joining me as well. Do you want to take a look into the camera?
You did it.
I did it.
Number 1.
Number 1.
I'm so proud.
Thanks for watching this episode of the Amazing Armchair Race. My name is Jake.
I'm Katie.
I'll see you next week for the finale. Ooh, travel safe. Go.